She said it loud enough for the whole aisle to hear. "You're not the man I married." Her voice sliced through the noise of grocery carts and plastic wrappers. Heads turned. A woman paused mid-scan at the self-checkout. A child stared over his mother's shoulder. I stood there, hands still on the cart handle, watching her. And then, with a calmness that startled even me, I said, "And you're not the woman I'm staying married to." The sound of my own voice echoed, heavy and deliberate. I left her there. Aisle 7, frozen beside a cart full of food she didn't pay for, surrounded by strangers who suddenly pretended to look away. I didn't stop walking until the sliding doors closed behind me. The cool air hit my face. It felt like the first real breath I'd taken in months. But peace never lasts long, not when betrayal has a habit of following you home. The shouting wasn't new. The humiliation was. Lately, she'd found ways to turn every small moment into a performance, mocking me in front of friends, talking over me, laughing too loud when I stayed quiet. But something in her tone that night, it wasn't anger, it was confidence, the kind that comes from knowing something I didn't. When I got home, her phone was still on the counter, charging, notifications lighting up like a signal flare. One message caught my eye. "He's gone. Call me." No name, just the number. I memorized it before I even knew why. That's the thing about betrayal. You don't look for proof until your body already knows the truth. I checked the number. Unknown. But I recognized the area code. Her office. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't yell or drink or throw anything. I just stared at the ceiling and realized that every conversation we'd had in the last month was her way of pushing distance between us, creating noise to cover what was missing. The next morning, I acted normal, kissed her cheek, made coffee, left early. Then I drove to her office and waited in the parking lot. An hour later, she arrived. She wasn't alone. The man walked beside her, tall, clean suit, familiar gait. Her supervisor. I watched them laugh before they entered the building. His hand brushed her arm. A small gesture, but too practiced to be innocent. That was all I needed. Over the next week, I collected everything. Phone records, credit card statements, hotel receipts hidden under business lunches. Her lies fit together like puzzle pieces that formed a picture I didn't want to see. But I forced myself to look anyway. Each night she came home and played her part, smiled, cooked, kissed me goodnight. I said nothing. I learned long ago that silence isn't weakness, it's preparation. When the confirmation finally came, it was digital, a photo, sent by a private investigator I'd hired under an alias. Her, him, same hotel, same date, no captions, just truth. That night, she came home humming. Told me about her meeting, about how stressful work had been. I nodded, listening, letting her voice fill the room like static. Then I asked, "Do you ever miss who we used to be?" She froze. "What?" I looked up from my glass. "Before all this." Her expression faltered, just for a second, enough to see guilt flicker beneath the surface. I smiled. I didn't think so. I didn't mention the photos, or the messages, or the money she'd used to fund her own betrayal. That would come later. The next day, I moved the money. Every shared account, every automatic payment, gone before sunrise. By the time she woke, her cards were declined, her balance was zero. I left a single note on the kitchen table. Aisle 7 was just the beginning. When she called, her voice cracked with panic. I let it ring. By noon, she showed up at my office, eyes red, voice trembling. "What did you do?" I leaned back in my chair, calm, steady. "What you taught me," I said. I stopped pretending. She realized then that I'd known everything. Every message, every lie. I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to explain. Her silence did all the confessing for her. It's been 3 months. The divorce finalized quietly. She kept the car. I kept my peace. Sometimes, when I pass that grocery store, I catch myself slowing down. I can still see her face, wide-eyed, surrounded by strangers, realizing she'd lost the upper hand. I remember the weight that lifted when I walked out those doors, the sound of freedom disguised as footsteps. Funny thing about betrayal, it doesn't break you, it unmasks you. And when you finally see what's underneath, you stop trying to save what's already dead. That day, in aisle 7, she shouted the truth without knowing it. I wasn't the man she married. I was the man she created.